The good thing about NACo is the fact that you've got large urban type counties and you've got some very small rural counties. And one of my goals is to bridge that rural-urban divide, as I indicated in our remarks this morning. But one of those ways is certainly broadband, and it highlighted the need for broadband as well as education and workforce skills across these United States. And that's what USDA is working with counties on a local level to implement broadband. We have an application process coming up at the end of April that I hope many counties will take a look at, and whether it be a private or public sector venture or an electrical co-op or a telephone co-op and those kind of things to help provide the needed services for their citizens. Counties are the boots on the ground. USDA is a partner with counties, certainly from a resource perspective, and we do that whether it's in our rural development program, whether it's community facilities such as hospitals or educational facilities or other types of drug treatment facilities and those kind of things. Water treatment plants are another way that we do that. So infrastructure is very important, and certainly counties really know where the need. There's no way we can go across this great country and determine where the highest priority needs are. That's what we depend on county leaders to do, and then it gives us the opportunity to allocate those resources that the Congress appropriates to be used in those highest priority areas. We have created an application for $600 million to be allocated in the most needed area. These have to be unserved areas. There are rules and regulations that are on our website, usda.gov/broadband, that I hope every county leader will look at and determine how they can partner with USDA and their private sector or public sector partners in their own areas to provide those kind of services. This is just a beginning. This is almost a proof of concept of how we can deploy broadband across the country. I think it's so important as we look to solve the urban-rural divide that is another one of those divisions across the country. And I'm hoping as we come to know one another and learn one another and understand one another better, then we'll be an even greater country. This is a drug that's hit and hurt the rural areas as much as it has the urban areas that we typically would see real drug problems in. But this is rural America is under a lot of economic stress right now due to farm prices and commodity prices are lower. Income has dropped over 50% in the last 5 years, and that puts a lot of economic distress on communities, and many people turn to mood-altering substances to help them cope. One of our real objectives in rural development is certainly telemedicine, but you need broadband to really implement telemedicine there. That's why we think broadband is so important from a telemedicine, for distance learning, for actually doing homework, and required many times with internet research. So that's why it's important, but also in treatment facilities, both mobile and fixed treatment facilities out in there. Spring in 2018, Congress gave us some additional authorities in the omnibus bill they passed and some other authorities in the farm bill this past year, signed in December. It didn't go as far as we would like, but it gives us an opportunity to begin. One of those things, frankly, that happened in the Farm Bill was the Good Neighbor Authority with counties. We can now sign Good Neighbor authorities. Many of these counties have very elaborate fire protection and fire prevention programs on their own, notwithstanding the state. But in working with the states and counties and tribes and a Good Neighbor Authority, that allows us to work together, to communicate, to understand the protocols and who does what when and how we respond to emergency. If a county is going to be in charge, we come right in and fit underneath that leadership and do what it takes. Honestly, it has to do with your audience here today at NACo. It really rises and falls on leadership. It takes leadership with a vision, working together, really for the altruistic vision of a better community in many ways. And it's democracy at work. It's leadership who want to improve their communities by getting ideas from across the community and instituting programs and that will benefit those citizens wherever they are, whether in the smallest counties or the largest.